just before you thank him, just a couple
Yeah.
of words.
Yeah, so obviously the stand we're making against violence against women, I think, is a really important issue, an issue that we need to fix, and so that's a really good thing that we're doing, but it's important that we action it after the stuff we did today. So we'll, as a footy club, be endeavouring to support that as best as we can.
Did you speak to the players about that and the message that's being sent?
We had Paddy Kinnersley come in yesterday from Our Watch and talk to our playing group around some of the issues with violence and how it potentially can stem from inequality within our society. And so that was really beneficial for our playing group and our staff, really, to hear that message from Paddy. And as I said, it's something that we'll support and endeavour to lend a hand to and to try and fix, because the reality is it's an issue in society that shouldn't exist, and so we need to do something about it.
And once the game started, you made a bright start through that first term.
Yeah, I thought the first quarter was good, in a sense that I felt like we were up for the contest and were able to win our fair share of ball and look like we were prepared to really hunt the ball and get it moving forward. After quarter time, that wasn't the case. That coincided with a little bit of the rain, but I'm not sure the conditions had a lot to do with it, to be fair. I thought the Swans definitely handled the conditions better than what we did, but I think they had a real thirst for the contest that we didn't have at their level. The ball was kicked to contest, and too often they were the next man in to win that ball, and then they were able to sort of either shuffle it to a teammate or get it moving forward. And obviously we didn't handle that as well as what they did.
Your usual ball magnets weren't there. Tom Green and Stephen Cornelio. What impact do you think that had today?
It could have had an impact, but the reality is they weren't there, and I expect the guys there to get the job done, and we didn't.
Have you spoken to Tom? What's the injury?
No, I haven't spoken to him. He's obviously rolled his ankle and got subbed out, so we'll scan that tomorrow, I believe, and get an assessment on what that actual injury is. But I don't really know what it is or how severe it is.
I know you spoke about after the Carlton game how while there were a lot of sort of forward defensive 50 entries, that it was almost a midfield problem because of where the ball was getting lost or turned over up the ground. Did you see it was a bit of a similar thing tonight, just the flood of inside 50 entries was hard to repel?
Well, they dominated that aspect of the game. I think they had 25 more than us, and largely on the back of their ability to hold their shape behind the ball, create those turnovers. I don't think we engaged their backs well enough, which allowed them to sort of have a little bit of unpressured ball through the midfield, and then they were able to win contest ahead of the ball. And so that when you piece those two things together, it generally will end in either entries or and/or score. And so we tried a few things to fix that, but we didn't quite get it done. They were better in the contest, all over the ground, which then was enabled them to get their metres gained from turnover far greater than us, and we weren't able to do the same coming back.
Obviously, a pretty significant incident in the second quarter with Cal Brown and Tom Cunn, who came off with a HIA fouling that. What did you make of that incident?
It was on the other side of the ground, so I couldn't really see what happened. It looked like a collision, two players going for the ball, but I don't really know.
How's Callum's response been? Because he showed concern for Tom immediately afterwards, sort of checked on him to see if he was all right.
Well, he didn't mention anything to me, so I'm not exactly sure on the incident. I'm probably the last person you should be asking. I don't seem to get him right, so it'll all unfold as the week goes on. He's a ball player. I don't think he's ever been suspended, to my knowledge anyway, so I think he's one of the fairest players in the game, so we'll just see how it unfolds.
Another full game from James Peatling, and he was probably one of your most consistent out there today. Are you seeing that he's really sort of rising to that occasion in the AFL?
Yeah. I mean, he was part of a midfield that got comprehensively beaten, and so I'll have to go and assess the game. You know, I didn't think we handled the conditions as I said. I thought we fumbled the ball. I thought we tried to overhandball the ball. I'm not sure whether he was a part of that or not. But yeah, we've got a bit of work to do there. He's been good for us. We've got some improvement to do.
You sort of hang in there in that third term, got the late goal, and then handed it back pretty much through that 666 infringement it seemed to be. What were your thoughts on that, and how frustrating it was at that particular time?
It was pretty annoying. We basically gifted them a centre bounce with penetration, and that put us under some defensive pressure, and they were able to again win the contest and finish their work. So, yeah, it's one of those things that we'll have a look at in review and why we didn't quite get it done.
Is that just an awareness thing from perhaps some younger players or something, or what does that tend to come down?
Well, it's a communication issue, clearly, because we didn't tell Darcy Jones he needed to be on the wing at that point in time. And so whether it was from the bench, whether it was on field, we didn't get it done. So we'll review it and try to do our best to make sure it doesn't happen again.
It was another quieter game from the skipper. His first one back from suspension. Are you seeing the signs that he's close to that form that we obviously saw from him last year, or is there something a bit different this year?
Well, I would say up until this game, and again, I thought he had moments in this game where he impacted the game pretty significantly. Up until this game, he hasn't been finishing his work as well as what he did last year. That to me has been really the only difference. I might be wrong, but that's what I see. I think he's still leading our group with the way that we want to lead, the way we want him to lead, and he's certainly impacting games and creating opportunities for us. He's just not finishing his work at this point in time. But as we know with Toby, that can swing very, very quickly. I thought he created some opportunities again for us tonight, with Savo, and probably as a group we didn't generate enough of those opportunities and finish our work, getting the ball inside 50.
And just on Colts, are you confident he'll be back for SC?
Yeah, I expect he will be. Yeah, he was touch and go this week. Ultimately, he felt like he just needed one more week. Just wasn't 100% comfortable, so I would expect that will be fine this week.
Coming off a pretty decisive win against last year's grand finalists and to lose this weekend, do you think it's kind of a wake-up call for the team?
Possibly. I think we're aware that we're not the finished product. Even after last week's game, I feel like we know against good teams, if you're slightly off in an aspect of the game, that you can really get punished, and we've seen that at times throughout this whole year. So I think we know where we're at. We're confident in our abilities, but we're certainly not the finished product yet, and we're continuing to build and try and improve that. Thank you.